Okay, guess we should get started. There'll probably be somebody coming into the waiting room, and it'll ding, but I'll just take care of that as we go. I'm Chris Hall. I'm one of the owners here at McNally Robinson. This is my harebrained scheme, as I've been calling it for a while. I will have been at McNally Robinson for 30 years in September. And I think for almost that entire time I've had this idea. But I had to wait for my kids to grow up. And so now they don't need me, and off we went. So sometime before COVID, Megan approached us with an idea.
My harebrained idea.
Yeah, there was, you spotted a tour, a cruise from, I think it was, England to New York City. And it was basically a writers' festival on a cruise ship. And she came to us wondering if we would want to lead such a thing. And I said, sure, that sounds good. But what about this idea? And Megan thought it was an okay idea. So we thought we would go ahead with it. And then COVID hit. Pretty much immediately. So we had to put it on the shelf. But then we came back after that kind of settled down, and we put this into motion. We took us over a year to get it all set up, but then we ended up selling to a group, some of whom are here, to Scotland. And then this past April and May, we went to France. So before I get into too much of the detail, I'll take you kind of show you where the information is on our website, because it can be hard to find. I get it. There's a lot going on here, so it's hard to kind of keep it front and center, but it's basically on this spinner. So if you are looking for it, you can cheat by clicking on the last box, which takes you to this. You can wait for it to come across too. And if you click on that, you go to the page. And down here is a lot of the information we're going to go through tonight. Basically the same information is on the brochure that was on your chair, or is on here. It has been available to pick up. There is the recording of last month's information session. We're going to replace that with tonight's, unless my performance is terrible. And then farther down, you'll get the books that I'm recommending we read around this. That again, it keeps popping up. As well as on here, you can go to kind of recap of France. So if you click on here, you go to the page of our France tour. That's us in front of the Chateau de Montaigne, where we visited. Michel de Montaigne wrote in a tower there in like 1530. You can still visit the tower. That's Versailles, the Hall of Mirrors. That's me wondering when I can move in. That's the group in Nice, the same group in Marseille. Same group again at the Chateau de Cognac, about to try some cognac, and that's a photo bomb by our esteemed tour director, Riccardo, the Italian tour director who took us through France. He did a wonderful job. No complaints whatsoever, quite the opposite. This is, got to there is an official list of most beautiful villages in France. So this was one of them, a town called Rouen. Did I get that right?
I don't remember how it's pronounced.
And then this is the casks. I believe that's still at Cognac. So they told us to stay out of there, but that's why I was holding back to be on my own for a bit. And at the bottom of here, you can see the same recap of the Scotland tour, the original tour. We had a cracking time. That's the group at Kelpies. This was in Edinburgh, kind of one of the first days. We went on a literary pub crawl. And got toured around and told some of the history of the writing in Edinburgh itself. Sorry, just getting distracted. So, and then farther down, that's our original and set the bar high tour director, Gavin. He will be forever the one to beat. Ricardo did very, very well. So, yeah. Anyway, Gavin was incredible. Looked after us very well. This is monument to Walter Scott in Edinburgh. Somehow a McNally Robinson bag got in there. This is when we were marching on the castle in Edinburgh. That's me again, me and the Dean Village. And this was the home of Walter Scott. Quite an incredible place. And then this was this little spot, little village that we stopped at just as we got to the very top of Scotland. We were heading to Thurso, which is going to be where we could catch the ferry the next day to go to Orkney, the Orkney Islands. And this was a village. And we stopped at their local pub, which was an old blacksmith shop originally that they had turned into a pub. And we were entertained by a fellow who was just a little off camera to the side here who told stories and played songs. And we had an incredible time. And then he called in a couple of bagpipers. These two bagpipers were high school students. Kind of a proof that the tradition remains alive and well. And that was kind of I think almost the unanimous highlight of the trip. That was an incredible afternoon, really spectacular. So that's what we're going to try to replicate this coming year, or next year, I guess, to embark to England, or to London and the south of England. So we will go through that shortly. I should say to those of you online, feel free to put questions in the chat. Once I finish talking, that will be my single job here. So we'll see if I can pull it off. A bit about the book club format. It's not a book club as in what you would normally think of, where we all read the same book and come in and discuss. It's more of a reading list that we can explore together. It's a long reading list. I kind of showed you the books there. I wouldn't expect anyone to read it. If you read it all, I'd be very impressed. I'm not going to be able to read it all. So the idea is to just read what appeals to you, get started wherever you like. And then we get together in this classroom or online for those who need to join online. And I just basically give you a tour of the books. Try to match it up with the tour itself. Kind of we're starting in London, and then we'll read the books that are set kind of towards Bath, etc. But read what you like. If somebody wants to give their response to a book, we can spend some time talking about it. If a number of people have read the same book, we can certainly talk about it. What ended up happening, though, is it became a bit of a recommendation process. So you'd come away from each session thinking, no, I should probably read that book, and then you give it a try. And then we will meet January, February, and March. I don't have the dates exactly. I will be aiming for the last Thursday. Like tonight is the last Thursday of the month is kind of what I aim at. It's going to depend a little bit on my own schedule. I have to get closer to know exactly. We'll move it if necessary, but hopefully we don't have to move it by too much. And yeah, we cover basically all the authors, all the books on that list by the time we get to the end, and then hopefully have gotten you some good stuff to give a try. So don't be daunted by the length of the list. Just read as little or as much as you want. Somebody has admitted in the past they didn't read any of the books. It's okay. That's up to you.
Them out.
Just TV and movies count.
Absolutely, TV and movies count. You know my lines.
You've heard this.
That's right. All the same jokes. You can attend virtually or in person. Obviously, that's happening tonight, and that's handy. Those of you who live close enough can come in here. There is a limit to the number of people who can come in. It holds about 30, so we'd have to cap it at that regardless. But we've also had people attending from beyond Saskatoon, Penticton one year, Canmore last year. So yeah, you don't have to live here to attend. I have been told that the online experience is very good. The only thing you don't get is kind of knowing the group. We get to know each other a little bit in those 3 sessions before we head off in that 4th month in April. The other thing is, it's also if we had snowstorms or whatever reason why you can't come in, you can attend virtually, and I will record all of them and share that after the fact. So even if you can't make one session, you can watch the recording so you don't miss anything. Note about English authors. My rule of thumb for these trips is that I want to read authors that were born and raised in the country that we're going to, rather than people that are writing about it from the outside. So I'm looking for some way to narrow it down, because there's any number of books beyond this that we could do. But B, I want to kind of go and, well, I want to hear the story from the place before we go. So maybe a little bit of authenticity there, but you're welcome to read any other book you want, recommend them if this is about reading widely. And yeah, there's lots of great books out there. Movies and TV, absolutely. As Mary said, it's not cheating to watch the movie version or the TV version. However you want to explore these stories is fine by me, and that's also part of what gets recommended is the TV or movie versions. So I will leave it there for the moment and get started with that guy you kind of have already met. And I will turn it over to Megan to introduce herself now.
Thank you. So I am Megan Reimer. I know some of you in the room, which is great. So you'll know if I'm telling a fib or not. I own Cruise Vacations, which is a travel agency in Winnipeg, right on Portage Avenue. We've been in business for over 30 years. My parents started the business a very long time ago, and here we are. They are now retired. Yeah, so Chris and I have come together and built this gorgeous itinerary that I will take you through. But my business itself, I work with groups of all kinds. Some are in Winnipeg, some are not. We are cruise specialists, but we really work with all kinds of travel. Okay. So for this tour, we are using Globus. Globus is a very well-known tour company. They do have a few different brands under their belt. So Globus itself offers motor coach tours, which is what this tour is. But they also offer river cruises under the name Avalon, if you've heard of that. They also offer more of sort of a more budget-friendly version of a coach tour under the name Cosmos. In the past, they've done independent travel, like train and hotel stays. So this slide really is just showing you everything about Globus. They've been in business over 100 years. I've worked with them for many years. They offer a wonderfully high quality, high level quality product. And so far they've delivered a great trip for McNally for a few years. So we're very happy with them. Yeah. So we'll go through why Globus, why travel as a group for those who have not ever traveled with a group departure before. I'll go through the itinerary, what's included, pricing, things like that. And then hopefully towards the end, I will have answered most of your questions. And if not, I'll cover off whatever's left. Has everybody in here taken a group tour before? Many people, yes. So for somebody who has not taken a group tour, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why you might consider it. Lots of times it's something unfamiliar, going on a tour, going to a destination that you've never been to. Maybe you're a little just nervous or not sure how to plan it. So the reason why we love group touring for something like this, especially with McNally Robinson, is you don't have to figure out how to get into Chawton House or you know, the Dickens Museum. You don't have to deal with how to get from point A to point B, where you're sleeping, where your meals are going to be. Any of the tours, it's off the table. It's already taken care of. Something that Globus used to always say is that there is freedom in the structure. So you know all of those components are taken care of in your free time. That really is your free time. You don't have to be thinking about, what about tomorrow? What time is the train again? Or it's totally your free time. Obviously traveling with people of like mind, similar interest, hassle-free, great tour guides. We just think it's a great option. Yeah. Why England?
Why
Well,
England?
Chris gets to decide why anywhere, so nice.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is me again. Why England? Well, it seems like the most natural maybe of these ideas, especially for English readers. So it is a natural, I think. It also, I discovered in a bit of research that England is one of the 3 top producers of new books, publishing wise. So China, which probably just has them on population as much as anything, and the US, which probably also has them on population. So it might be the most per capita, the highest producer of new books. Long tradition of reading, of course, back through hundreds of years. We will be doing several hundred years worth of exploring authors. So everyone from the classics of Jane Austen and Charles Dickens right through modern authors like Anne Cleves or Edward Rutherford, or lots. Anyway, so we will and crime fiction. Crime fiction is one of I don't read a lot of crime fiction, but I find them actually for this purpose one of the more interesting kinds of books, because mysteries, they set up atmosphere and they use the place as almost like a character, if you will. So sometimes it builds a better sense of a place than some other books. So I find the mystery books are very useful for this purpose. And of course, my favorite line: food and wine are literary too. Pubs and pints for this purpose, absolutely literary. Literary is frankly anything we want it to be, so we can figure that out as we go.
Very broad definition.
That's right.
Yeah. So this tour is round trip from London, makes flights really easy. It's 10 days, so it is a little bit shorter than the past few years, but definitely some options to extend your time before or after, how you see fit. And some gorgeous highlights along the way. Breakfasts are included every day, and there are a couple of dinners along the way, but otherwise the meals are on your own. Tour guide will be there to give some recommendations as you see fit. On we go. We'll go through day by day. Little map.
A little map.
Yeah. Okay, so starting in London, the tour begins on April 22nd. With the tour beginning April 22nd, that does mean that you need to leave home at least on the 21st to arrive on the 22nd. It's an overnight flight. There are additional hotel nights that we can arrange before the tour if that interests you. They have additional cost, of course. If we book those hotel nights through Globus as part of the package, we can include your transfers from the airport to the hotel, which makes it very seamless. So after you get transferred to the hotel for day 1, the remainder of the day is yours for the afternoon, and then you're going to meet your tour director at the hotel. They're going to take you on a river cruise of the Thames in the evening and a welcome dinner, which is really lovely. By this point, you probably know most people who you're with anyways because of all of the book club gatherings that you've had. So familiar faces everywhere. And I should also say that this tour is a private tour. So everybody on the motor coach on this tour is only for McNally Robinson. There is no outsiders allowed.
The classroom is the same size as a coach.
Yeah.
Very close.
You can pick
which
your
is kind of handy.
coach seating right
That's
here.
right. Well assigned seats.
Then we rotate.
Yeah, and then you rotate, exactly. Next class. So day 2, April 23rd, breakfast at the hotel, and then the morning is at leisure. If you have only landed in London in the morning on the 22nd, this day is going to feel like just a beautiful slice of cake to you because you're going to be hopefully getting over your jet lag still this day. But otherwise, you're going to enjoy a nice walk around your hotel, or we can arrange a private tour if you're doing something else. And then the group is going to have a guided tour again with your tour director that's going to see the highlights in London. And then later in the afternoon, a visit to the Charles Dickens Museum, and then evening at leisure.
What would some of the major highlights be?
So the guided tour is by coach, so it'll be going past Buckingham Palace and Westminster and Big Ben, stuff like that. Yeah. So if you were doing like a hop on hop tour on your own or some kind of city highlight tour, it would be very similar. Yeah. So in the free time, if there were more specific things that you wanted to do or entrance into some of those things, that would be a good time to do it. So the following day, we are up and out of the hotel after breakfast. The group is going to have a guided tour at Stonehenge. And then onwards to Bath, where you get to see the Roman excavations there. Evening is at a hotel in Bath. I'll go through the hotels that we suspect you will be staying at the end of the presentation so you can see location-wise. But they are very well located, so when it's coming time for dinner and you need to go out and scavenge, you're in a very good location. Following day, breakfast at the hotel again. Onward to Glastonbury. Of course, the legend of King Arthur is there. And then to Torquay, where you get to travel through the life of Agatha Christie. The evening you'll be in Plymouth, and Plymouth is 2 overnights there. So it's the pace of the tour is nice where you're not up and out of a hotel every single morning. This evening there is a group dinner at a local restaurant. So from Plymouth, which is your home base today, you're going to be out exploring and then back to Plymouth. So breakfast at the hotel, and then you'll explore the West Country. Visit, oh gosh, I say this wrong in my head every time. Foy, yes? Somebody correct me. Foy, my English people, thank you. Which is home to Daphne du Maurier. And then onward to St. Ives, where you see the sights of Virginia Woolf. And then back to Plymouth. This day is probably one of the longer tour days. I believe it is scheduled around 6.5 hours. So I can confirm that for anybody a little bit later. But you are out of the hotel for the whole day pretty much. Day 6, April 27, feels like we're flying halfway through this itinerary before we even blink here. Breakfast at the hotel, and then you're onward to Salisbury. You do have some free time today, so you'll have time for lunch in town and then just exploring independently, obviously a very medieval city. And then to Southampton, and that is where you will spend the night in Southampton. From Southampton, you're going to have a walking tour through the history of Jane Austen, Thomas Hardy, and King Arthur. I just love this picture. It makes me want to go right there. Drive through the village of Chawton to see Jane Austen's home. I have to put an asterisk on this because there is a backup of Chawton House, and that it's just because we cannot get the tickets to Jane Austen's home yet. That is Globus's department, so they tell me that this is the backup plan. I am very confident they will come through because they have come through with everything else that I have asked of them, so I'm not too worried. In Canterbury, step back in time by walking the steps of Chaucer. Where you get to see the cathedral precincts, and then evening at leisure in Canterbury. Your Globus tour guide is with you for all of the guided tours, for all of the walking tours, everything like that. They make wonderful recommendations if you're looking for how to spend your free time or where to find good lunch or dinner, things like that. Day 8, we are traveling from Canterbury on to London. After breakfast, it'll be a stop at the White Cliffs of Dover and the visitor center there. So that's so stunning. And then travel towards Rochester, where you get a walking tour and a visit to Guildhall Museum. And then the day ends in London, where again, you have your evening at leisure. And then London, Day 9, I can hardly believe it's almost over. This is a full free day in London. The idea that we are working on is a bookshop tour. We're at day 9. Someone's joining the tour right now.
Yeah, there's a few ideas that there's also happens to be a literary pub tour in London.
Sense the theme.
So possibly we could, that was something we did on our own in Edinburgh too. I arranged with them for a certain number of us, and then it was optional if you wanted to join us. We sold tickets on our website actually, which worked pretty well. So we can do something like that again. There's other ideas too, so it's kind of yeah.
I mean, there's some gorgeous bookstores.
There's some gorgeous bookstores. Some of them are too small for our group though, so we have to be a bit careful about getting there all at once. That's a Daunt bookstore, and it can probably contain us, but yeah, there's some tiny ones too.
Yeah, or the floating bookstore, which is also in London. So there is a farewell dinner this evening, and that'll be at a restaurant with your tour director and the group. And in the past, that would also be the evening where maybe if there's a 4th edition of the literary tour, that might be announced. I don't know.
If I'm up for another one, that's been the tradition. We announce the next.
If everyone behaves.
We announce the next tour on the farewell dinner of this one. So that's happened each time. So yeah, stay tuned. You guys get to hear it first.
Yeah.
And I don't tell you before.
No.
And my parents aren't coming this year, so nobody will know.
Bribes not allowed. And day 10 is breakfast at the hotel, and then transfers to the airport if you're flying home that day. The transfers are included. Feels like we just whipped right through that.
It does go by quickly.
Yeah. So we'll go through where some of the hotels are located. These are not guaranteed, but these are the hotels that currently Globus is listing that we will use. The reason why they're not guaranteed is that Globus waits to see exactly how many rooms we need, and then sometimes they will give us an alternate hotel. So far, they've not. That like what they tell me, where they tell me you're sleeping is where you're sleeping, but I just want to put that out there because if heaven forbid I say this is where you are and they change it, I don't want anyone banging on my door. So if you can see where this is Big Ben right here. There's the London Eye. These are the 2 park plazas that are listed as being used. The entire group would be in one hotel, but they have both listed, so I don't know which one they will use.
Is that railroad? What is those?
Right here, yeah, this is Waterloo Station. This is the station right here. So in Bath, it's a double tree. Again, you can just see, I mean, this is just a Google map, right? It's pointing out some of the restaurants and things, but it's not pointing out everything. Roman baths are here. What else were we pointing out?
The Jane Austen
Center. Oh yes, the Jane
here.
Austen Center is right.
She spent a lot of time in Bath, so it'll be one of the centers for Jane Austen fans.
And in Plymouth, the Crown Plaza.
Yeah, they've always been very well located.
Yeah.
Most
So
without
Globus
exception.
does use 4 to 5-star hotels, and sometimes it just depends on the location. Sometimes it depends on the group size or what hotels are available. I know in Scotland, was it in Oban maybe? You had I can't remember. One of the ones in
Thurso was.
Thurso, it might have been a small hotel.
It was, yeah, but it was the only one available.
It was the only one available and the only one that could accommodate the group.
Yeah, so they didn't have much choice.
Yeah.
But everywhere else, it's. There's always in Bordeaux. It was explained that you couldn't get downtown quite because of the rates of the hotels. They were going to blow our budget. So I mean, that was the first time really that was occurred to us that we were a little ways away from the center. But I think that's the only one I can think of where we were, where we felt like it was a long walk to get down to where we wanted to be. think so. So
Yeah.
usually that's not the case,
Okay,
but that's how Ricardo explained it to us.
Yeah, otherwise the Globus standard is a 4 to 5 star hotel in a good location for walking. That is generally what they use, which is why we like them.
Mhm.
Yeah. Southampton, this is a hotel I've used for cruise passengers for years, Leonardo Royal Hotel. It's a really neat maritime city. And Canterbury, it's the Abode Canterbury. The cathedral, I want to say, is right in here, and it didn't come up.
No.
It's right near the park.
Oh, there it is. Oh, up there.
Is
There
it
it is.
there?
Oh, right, you're right.
Oh,
Upper
there.
Right.
Yeah, right
Oh,
here.
yes, right.
Yeah.
Next door.
I thought, yes, I thought
Okay.
I tried to put it on there. There you go. Google puts funny things on there. So what is included in the package? The accommodations as listed, of course, you have a bed to sleep in every night. Meals as listed, which again was all of the breakfast every day and a couple of the dinners. Any of the tours that I've mentioned, so tours meaning if there is entrance to something, your entrance ticket is included. And it's a group priority entrance. You're not standing in line with anybody else to get into whatever that site is. And they're all guided tours. So it's either your Globus tour director doing city tour guiding, or they sometimes hire local guides, someone a little bit more specialized. The service of your experienced Globus tour director, they basically act as I act when you are on the tour. So if there's any questions, needs, problems, anything, that's your go-to person. All taxes and fees are included. Not included would be your gratuities towards your tour director and your coach driver. You would want to budget for that. And I would budget around $20 to $25 per day to cover those gratuities. Travel insurance not included and strongly recommended. Can't stress that enough. Flights not included. Because we have people coming not only from Winnipeg, but sometimes from other places, it doesn't make a lot of sense to bunch it all together. I am more than happy to help book flights. I have helped people with their hotels, train tickets, extra tour tickets, anything like that. We are a full service travel agency, so that I am able to help you with all of that. And in the past, it's been nice to have people booked on the same flights as other people. So if you want to know that you're traveling at the same time, then I can do that too. Items of a personal nature, of course. The package does not include your shopping or your pub smears, things like that. Double occupancy price, it's Canadian dollars at $62.93 per person to share a room with someone else. Solo rooms, I am just like flabbergasted, knocked over at how popular they are. I think I have had to request 10 and they are all spoken for. I would be shocked if I can get more, but I can certainly try. And like I said, Canadian dollars, and it includes all the tax.
What if you're open to sharing and nobody bites?
Yeah, so if you're open to sharing and nobody bites, I can't confirm a solo, then my hands are tied. I can't guarantee that you have a solo if Globus doesn't have any more to offer. Yeah. There is an early booking special in the form of a McNally Robbins gift card. The clock is ticking though, because it ends on June 30th. So if you want a little extra spending money towards your new book club books, you would want to get back to me pretty quick. Yes.
Mine was saying, but I was just not to email with a group about less than a year ago, and they include portage. Like they took our bags.
Yeah, porterage is included with
from the
Globus.
bus to
Yeah,
the room, and they picked
yeah,
up
so
the
you don't
bags
have to
in the
move
hall
your suitcases.
in the morning, so you didn't have to take your bag for it.
Yeah. The deposit is $500 per person. It is non-refundable. Again, I will stress the travel insurance for that reason. Final payment is due January 30th. And I do have some folks that just phone me or send me a message occasionally and pay in installments. You don't have to make 2 payments. You can make the payments however you like. The group itself, the size of the coach is more the limiting factor on how big the group can be. We can't have all the seats taken plus 2 people. It doesn't work. So the maximum group size is 40. We are more than halfway full. So the group has met the minimum number needed, which was 20.
Couldn't say that this time
Yeah.
last year.
I couldn't say that this time last year. So there you have it. Like I said, the solo rooms I would have to request if that's what interests you. But otherwise, there are double occupancy rooms still available. Okay. I think that might be it.
These are mostly, it looks like American chain hotels.
Well, they need to be hotels that are large enough for the group to get into. So it's not going to be a P&B or something.
Oh,
like
no,
that.
but I just stayed at the Tower.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's lots of old English hotels, but anyway,
Yeah.
some of them look like they could be English.
Yeah. Globus has their contracts with the hotels that they use, so it's not up for us to negotiate that part. Any other questions?
Those online, feel free to put it on in the chat. I
Yeah.
will watch for them.
Yeah.
England has changed the rules about passports.
Yeah.
I was born there, I'm gonna have to get a British passport.
Yes, the rules are very particular if you were born, or I think my understanding is maybe if your parents were even born.
I remember that.
Yeah. So
And done in a very unfriendly manner, I have to say.
yes, I would agree with that.
We're fully up to date with all that.
Okay, good.
It's a money.
Actually, you sent me the information about that last year, 2 years ago. You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good to know. If you were born in England, or yes, there's some rules about it that we would want to be pretty careful about, because otherwise they will deny you. So, and on that note, there is an ETA, an electronic travel authority for the UK that is required. We need to apply for it before you depart. I think you have to have it in place 3 days before your flight. It costs about $30. And I'm happy to help you apply if you would like. It's just done on an app or the website. You don't have to mail anything away. So that does exist, and we would need to take care of that.
And how long is that good for?
2 years from the date that you are approved.
So we did it for Scotland, you have to do it again.
You have to do it again because it will have expired. Yeah. I know. It's a bummer. We should have planned 2 years in advance.
For $30
didn't think of that.
is reasonable, a passport fee is not.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah.
Someone online asks, how do we book and send deposit?
Yeah, so you have my contact info on this slide here. If you were to call my office or email me, I am happy to help you. Sound good? Any other, yes?
Yeah, what do you expect for weather at that time?
So weather at that time will be.
Very good weather.
Yeah, like it should be nice spring weather. I was in London this past year in the last week of March, and we had sunshine, but I wore a sweater every day. But we actually didn't have rain that was discouraging by any means. So, I mean, definitely plan for rain, but it should be heading into some nice spring weather. Thoughts from my English people? You say no.
Committing myself.
No.
We got nothing but good weather in Scotland.
Yeah.
Almost nothing but good.
Yeah,
I've got a Scottish suntan. 2 years earlier than that, I went to Ireland at this time of year and had to buy a cap because I was getting a sunburn on my forehead. France, of course, is France.
Yeah.
A little different, but still very nice. My own take is that I have to travel this time of year because it's the best time for my own work schedule. But I like the weather, generally speaking. I mean, obviously there's no guarantees, but it's not too hot. But it's often very pleasant.
It's also before school breaks for the most part too, right? It's after spring break, but it's before summer breaks when tourism really explodes. So this is a nice time for kind of the balance of weather and busyness.
Can scent allergies be accommodated?
So I'll say yes, easily, more easily in the hotels. On the motor coach, I mean, if it's reasonable to request from everyone going, I think maybe.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Generally speaking, allergies have been very much top of mind for our tour director. If they want to know if you have any issues like that, and then they keep track of it. Is that fair to say? I mean, it's easy for me to say I'm an omnivore, but I believe that they both looked after people very well that way. We haven't run into scent, so I can't say for sure, but it's a very reasonable group. Not that I can speak for everybody that signed up yet, but we're very reasonable people. So I would think
I would think so. And also, like, you need to fly there, so have our sense being accommodated on the flight. I would hope that it would be more so accommodated on a Globus motor coach than on an airplane.
Yeah, a little more, well, better able to, we know each other too, so it's
Yeah.
more easily accommodated for us.
Good question.
And somebody else has asked, is a triple occupancy a possibility?
So
Two,
triple
three.
occupancy, the hotels can accommodate triple occupancy. The package fare does not change for the third person. It would be 3 people times the double occupancy rate. So that's $62.93 times 3. I was asked that before. Yeah. Anything else from our in-person humans? That's it. Well, you've got my contact info, you've got Chris's contact info, it's on his website, my website, or please stick around and answer questions if you want one-on-one.
Yeah, and I guess just one point about delineation of labor here. You got questions about the trip? Megan's your person. I'm just the book guy.
Yeah.
Happy to talk about books.
We have very clear roles. Yeah. Perfect.
Just one other question.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, are there any add-on tours available?
Are you thinking before or after or during? Yes to all. So they're like, if you are going into London early or staying late, I can easily coordinate hotel and additional tours. Additional tours during the free time, yes, I can definitely help you with that. There's nothing, there's not going to be a listing of these are the days and the tours, which we've done in the past. And the reason is because this is a fully customized tour for McNally Robinson. So Globus doesn't have an inventory of optional tours on certain days with a guide that they can offer. But if you were to say, I really want to, do X, Y, and Z in my free time on this day, I can make just about anything happen. Yeah. Okay. Sound good?
Wonderful.
It was vague, but it's a yes.
And we should say also that both years, and we'll do this again, I presume, is we actually meet a fourth time, 2 weeks before we leave, more or less.
Yep.
And that's really, well, Megan comes back in and it's really about final questions and preparation.
Yeah, making
and so
sure
on.
everyone's got documents and we know where to go and what to do and final packing questions and all kinds of things like that.
And I'll also add to the question about extra tours and things like that, that there's also been a little bit of informal groupings that have formed that want to do something together, and that ends up happening. That really can only start January when we start to see each other, but I could certainly help with that. If there's an idea for something specific in one of these places, absolutely, we can look into it.
Yeah.
Megan can help, and we can get something arranged one way or the other if the whole group is interested. So there's lots of possibilities. If you feel like you have to do something alone, you might as well raise it. My guess would be that be others that would love to join you. So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yes, to answer the last question online, this is, I pressed record. I remembered to press record at the beginning of this, so this is recorded and I think my performance was adequate, so we will post this one on the website tomorrow. And yeah, you can watch from the beginning if you came in late, or watch again if you want to hear us again.
So we post the hotel, the possible hotels on there too.
So the list of hotels is not listed on my website. If you watch the recording again, you'll see them on there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't like to post them because if they change, I
There's
don't.
always a caveat.
Exactly, so I won't post them, I don't print them on the flyer or anything like that, yeah. Sound good? Well, thank you all
Yeah,
very much.
thanks for coming, everybody.
your time. With any luck, the rain has stopped.
Thanks everyone online.
Somebody watched here.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Because of thunderstorms.
Really? I looked it up, and it said 25th.